Okay, Leo, let's do this. All right, so I go with the 13 zodiacs, guys. I'm not going to read the cards off anymore. You could do your own research for what the 13 zodiacs are. That's the one that includes Ophiuchus, okay? Before they changed it over to the 12th. So we're doing Leo right now. We'll see what Leo has right now. Maybe a little bit of unfulfillment. Not sure why you'd be feeling that way, Leo. You're pretty strong. Sore, painful, severe, distressing, tender, galled, an ulcer, wound, or severely sore. So you could be going through some sort of physical ailments. This could be part of your ascension process. Keep in mind that just because we're a certain age or something like that, a lot of the times when we experience things in the spiritual form, it does manifest in the 3D. So you'll start to feel like soreness or joints. If you're not physically active, that could very well be a part of it as well. But your body will like tell you what it needs from you. So each part of your body is linked up to a spiritual meaning. It'll give you some insight and it'll give you some guidance on what you need to work on, especially if it comes to any phobias or insecurities or any unresolved trauma that you need to work on, okay? You could need to protect yourself as well at this time. Most of us do. Just protect your energy for yourself. Shirk. S-H-I-R-K. To avoid unfairly, to seek or to avoid duty. So again, like I said, if there's certain things that you're not doing for yourself right now at this time, your body could be telling you in a different way. It just kind of manifests into the physical. Any kind of duties that you're responsible for. Let's say you have a specific kind of gift, or you have knowledge, or you have wisdom. If you are not sharing certain things with the collective, if you're not helping others, let's say you're a healer or something like that, and you're not doing what brings you joy, your pathway or your actual purpose, it's going to cause some complications, and it could very well be in the physical. Okay? And I know sometimes it seems like I just drone on, it's just the same shit that I'm saying, but repetition is necessary, especially for a learning process. And this whole thing that we're going through, any kind of awakening, ascension, or anything like that, is a learning process in itself. You could need to sage as well. Keep in mind there's different ways the smoke rises, which will give you indications of what it is, what kind of energies you're dealing with. Look into that, do some research on that as well. Leo, you are the strength card. Remember that, okay? Okay, so you're keeping your boundaries high. Good for you. You could feel a little bit lonely at this time. Maybe you're secluded away from people. Maybe you have blocked off certain individuals from coming to, let's say you have a gathering once in a while for dinner or something like that, and you haven't done that in a long time. Maybe during the whole COVID thing, or hopefully that's not going to get me barred on YouTube or something like that. Am I allowed to say the COVID? Anyways, maybe during that time you kind of like tapered off with the whole being around family or friends and anything like that, and you just kind of put your all into whatever it is that you're doing or however it is that you're taking care of yourself, and you haven't really done that in a while. You could be craving that sort of intimacy with people, intellectual intimacy. So socializing, group gatherings, family, friends, and all that. We're safe now. I'd like to consider us being in a safe space, so you're allowed to get out and socialize if you need to. Not telling you what to do, but you can very well do so. You know that. What else do we got here for Leo? Not very talkative, huh? You don't really want to say too much. Remember, keeping it in sometimes will do more damage than good. You have a lot of patience. I guess you're weighing your options at this time between what it is that you say to other people, and you're kind of rationalizing or making sense of the 3D and the spiritual aspect of things. This is not your first time, so you've done more than just dip your toe in. You know there's other people around you spiritually. You know there's guidance if you need to seek it out. You have your own aura, which is very strong. You're not about to play with certain individuals at this time. Maybe you're done with the whole like childish mind games or anything like that, or maybe you never really were into that to begin with. But if you were, you definitely put that aside. You have patience. Maybe you're waiting for somebody to come to you at this time. So if you're wanting to be around people, but you're waiting for them to approach you first, you know, that may not work out the way you want. Maybe it's rewarding if you actually reach out and talk to other people first. That could be an ego thing. Sometimes you need to kind of let that subside a little bit before you get into social activities again. What else we got? Temperance. Tower. So not saying what it is that you're supposed to be saying is going to create the problems. I don't think this is other people. This doesn't feel like energies of other people creating problems for you. This is more you creating problems for yourself. There could be a bit of like the need to keep your own lineage, like a image. Kind of like who's the boss, who's wearing the crown, who's the matriarch or patriarch, who's the one that gets to have control. You could have done it out of love in the past, but maybe not so much anymore. Now it's become just more of like a mindless kind of bad habit. The problem is that you have all this patience, but it doesn't seem like you have been using the wisdom that comes with that patience. So if you want to talk to other people, then talk to them. If you're not going to do so, this could end you up in a tower. And I don't know if you feel like you're already locked away in a tower and that things are going to crumble, or if you're just sitting there on the sidelines waiting, not participating, not being a part of this whole thing, and kind of creating more of an issue for yourself. I don't know. What's this tower? What do we got going on for that then? What's this tower for Leo? She did it. Who did it? She did it. Yeah. You're not going to surmount those odds. You're not going to overcome this if you continue on this pathway. Come on, Leo. Who am I tapping into right now that's that stubborn? 6 of Clubs in a reverse. Your solar plexus is really important. That's like I do. So it's like actions taken. It's also what brings you joy. It's also like your inner sunlight, your inner child. So what are the things you're not doing at this point that would bring you joy? What are the things that you're not saying at this point that would avoid this tower? Maybe instead of creating, it may create like a smaller version of a bit of an upset, but not as big as this. This one's big. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, Leo? Truth? You know the truth already. Yeah, 10 of Cups in reverse. Are you wanting something to go south for another person? Or is this how you're feeling right now? 10 of Cups in the reverse. This is usually happy endings, wish fulfillment. Maybe you didn't get what you wanted. If you're wanting people to come to you while you keep your head down and you're wanting them to come visit or have a luncheon or have a family gathering or something, and you're just waiting very patiently for them to reach out for you, and you're not doing so, it's going to create this, and it's not going to give you what you want. And it's not going to have you get over whatever it is that you're going through right now. A little bit of stubborn energy. Leo, you can be stubborn, but you also can be really loving and generous and kind, and you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and you have the ability to create good scenarios for yourself. You have the ability to bring people together. You have the ability to cheer people up and give them guidance in a good way. But why would you allow everything to come crumbling down? over the Temperance. Hierophant, old tradition. Are you seriously telling me right now that the only reason you're sitting there waiting is because you may feel like somebody should be calling or texting you or getting a hold of you or setting up something, whether it be like a date, a coffee, or a family function or something? Like, just because you sit in a high ranking, if you feel so, just because you've reached a certain point. I don't see the Empress card out here, or the High Priestess or High Priest, but just because you sit at a higher point and you have certain ways of doing things doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way it always has to be. It doesn't necessarily mean that things haven't changed and maybe a different approach would be necessary at this time. It doesn't mean that the way you used to do things still affects or has an effect on people now the way they go now. You might have control over certain people and how they think, feel, and act. You might very well have always felt like you had the control, or maybe that was passed down to you and taught to you. But there's lessons we have to learn. Even our ancestors are aware of this. They don't want to see a tower come falling down. There needs to be a bit of change here. What's that? 5, 6. So that'd be 16. 16 for the falling tower. Yeah. So that'd be 7. Not supposed to be luck. What kind of luck are you wanting to turn in your favor? You get to ultimately make the decision. The change here. I'm pretty sure most people are aware that change needs to happen, whether we like it or not. What is it? The most consistent thing is change. You do have faith, but you're also used to doing things like in order. You're also used to doing things, but I guess by the book. Rung, a heavy staff, round or step of a ladder. So there are different ways of approaching this. Just because you're going up a staircase doesn't mean you have to do it the same way every single fucking time. And it's the same with going down a staircase too, but in this case it's going up. The round or step of a ladder and a heavy staff. You could feel like the crown that you wear is heavy. You could feel like the burdens that you carry are too much, but you're allowed to request from other people in that hard labor that you put in, especially with any boundaries or any gates or anything like that you put up, or any old traditions and stuff like that. You're allowed to discuss it with people like an adult. You're allowed to talk to people about certain ideas and how you see things and maybe where there could be improvement or change. If this is a community, you're allowed to discuss with it amongst everybody, not just hold it within yourself. You're allowed to talk to the people that you feel, whether these be here in the present 3D or even the spiritual, of certain change that can take place. You're allowed to speak the truth so that towers don't end up happening, especially in this case, because this is a negative energy. This isn't a tower for good. This is an unnecessary tower. And no, you're not going to get the 10 of Cups that you're looking for, or create the reverse of a 10 of Cups for somebody else by doing this. That's not how it works. Maybe it used to work that way in the past. It's not working that way this time. Come on, Leo. It's almost like a need. Maybe you're so used to things going a certain way, or your prayers being answered in a certain way, but they may have had not so good intention. But because things have shifted, because the balance is being brought back in, because things are fair and just now, it means that the way things used to be done, this old energy of the Hierophant, old ways of doing things, maybe even tradition or even ways of thinking or even just religious views, may not apply this time. It may not work the way it used to work anymore. So, let's see. You get a bit of a revelation on that one. Can we get more on the Hierophant? What exactly is being forced upon Leo right now? What do they, feel about this? It's face down. 7 of Clubs in reverse. Normally this is like things that are unseen that you're battling off, but it's in the reverse. So maybe you don't feel the need to speak up or say anything because it's going to prevent you from having to battle anything off. However, if you're creating towers for other people or just a situation in general, that's still going to be karma on your half end of it. I say half end, so this is like a 50-50. If you choose not to say anything out of the fact that, because it's not keeping the peace either. If you choose not to say anything, just so you don't have to battle off certain energies or entities, whatever it was from the past, then the tower is inevitable. This tower is going to happen. What's the tower all about? Now I'm curious what this tower is. Spirit. The breath of life, the soul, the specter. Vivacity, courage, mood, essence, real meaning, intent, a liquid obtaining by distillation, alcoholic liquor, to infuse spirit into, to encourage. Your spirit guides are encouraging you to do the right thing right now. I think you already know this. I don't have to tell you this, Leo. I'm pretty sure you're fucking aware. Pardon my language. The breath of life. So what gives you that drive to do that action to do? What was your original intention? What was the original meaning behind what you did? What was the original reason you did what you did? Was it out of self-preservation? Was it out of jealousy, envy, lust even, or broken heart? Was it out of wanting to heal and help others? What was the original intention? Find that out, because I think that's going to give you your answer. And then you got courage and mood. Well, you're Leo, courage itself, strength card, right? And the mood. So depending on whatever it is that you're battling with right now internally, especially whatever you're dealing with from past or old traditions or old ways of thinking, your mood's going to ultimately be controlling the situation when that shouldn't be the case, because you're very wise, very patient, okay? And you are fully aware of that your actions have consequences, unless you're purposefully trying to allow this tower to happen. Yes, towers ultimately maybe for other people will turn out in a good way, like clearing out old, but in this sense, it's like I said, it feels like it's unnecessary. It doesn't need to take place. But then again, everything happens for a reason, right? Unless you already know this. How much further are you seeing in the future, Leo? What are you playing with right now? Camouflage. So you're shielding your energy, or you're hiding whatever this is, or you're hiding from something. The art of disguising, especially the art of disguising material in warfare. This is spiritual warfare. So what is your goal here? Unfulfilled, like a need that's unfulfilled. What is this goal here? I keep going back to this 10 of Cups. Is this yours or somebody else's? What you wanted that you didn't get, or what somebody wanted they didn't get, they're imposing or putting pressure on you to be a certain way, or how you think. Maybe when you were really young, somebody told you this is the way it is and it's never going to change and it's always got to be this way. That's not true, Leo. Please understand that's not true. Even if you were very young, if I'm talking to an elder right now or something like that, just because somebody embedded it into your head that things do not change, that is bullshit. You and I both know that. Change is inevitable. It happens all the fucking time. You've changed. You've grown. You have the patience of a fucking saint. What else we got here? What do you know? What is this? Judgment. Not only do you have judgment on yourself, but you have huge judgment on others as well. That's where these borders come up. This came over the 7 of Coins. So what you've been working really hard for, I don't know how long you've been working on this, but it looks like a very long time. If you're an elder, maybe 70 years you've been working on this. That's a long time. Judgment. Are you feeling the need to call judgment upon others, or judgment for your own situation, or just judgment in the situation and what you are going to divulge and what you're going to say and how you're going to dish it out? What's the Ten of Cups in reverse? Is this to do with Leo or another person? Something to do with the Wheel of Fortune, but it came out sideways. This came out sideways over Temperance. So are you believing that your patience is going to gain you the Wheel of Fortune at some point? It's going to create a tower, though. You're going to be a part of this tower. The Wheel of Fortune. Are you wanting somebody else's favor? Or are you wanting something to not go in somebody else's favor? And therefore, you're going to gain the Ten of Cups or keep your Ten of Cups. Right now, it's in the reverse. So if this is what you're wanting, it's not happening. And the Wheel of Fortune over the Temperance. What can we get for the Wheel of Fortune? Information not coming in or not being sent out. What is going on here? Wealth. Journey. Those little pillars almost look angry. I don't know if this is your spiritual guides or are you feeling like you're being guided to do a certain thing. Is Leo being kind of manipulated right now? Yeah? Is Leo being manipulated? If so, by what? Oh, I gotta get me some more cards, guys. I've gotta get some different cards to give me more information. Being manipulated by a male energy or experience in the past of an Ace of Clubs, a situation that occurred over a certain journey or pathway. What they wanted has an impact on your decision. And then we've got the Five of Clubs in reverse. So quite possibly after this whole ordeal, you've chosen not to say or do certain things. You've chosen to put your boundaries up. You've chosen to either not go for this wish fulfillment or prevent a wish fulfillment for somebody else out of old ways of thinking and wanting to preserve yourself and not having to battle off certain spiritual things. I think you're very educated, Leo. I think you're very educated in how this all works. But however, the whole reason was to prevent some sort of fighting or chaos. But ultimately, it's going to bring in a tower anyway. So truth usually comes out regardless. If something's not being said, it's going to be said eventually. If certain secrets are not to be gotten out and you feel like you want to take them with you, whether you're a young Leo or an old one, they're going to be out anyways. It's going to come out because your conscience, you're a good person. And even in your subconscious and your sleeping state of being, it will come out. No matter how much you try to mask it or shield it or disguise it. Okay, what else do we have? You have a lot of faith that this is going to go in your favor. Romance. Is this over a past lover? A tale in a verse in romance, dialect, a popular epic tale in prose or verse of some length, a tale of extraordinary adventures, tendency to the wonderful or mysterious, a fiction with a cap. A term applied to the languages sprung from the Latin to tell fictitious stories. So this could be something somebody has taught you or told you of how the way things should or shouldn't be, and you truly do believe that at this point. I'm going to go over here. Trust your intuition and go with the flow. So if you truly believe this is the best choice, go with the flow, Leo. I'm not really going to get too much more into this. Apply it as it resonates for you. Let the rest go because it's for somebody specifically. Ask living relatives to tell you something they have kept a secret from you as a child. Just watch the reaction and or listen. If you have any, if you're older and you have any siblings, talk to them. Aunts or uncles, any kind of family member. any kind of living relatives, just watch what their reaction is when you ask them. Make sure your intention's pure, and when you ask them a certain question, gauge how their reaction is to give you a bit more insight, okay? And just listen. Listen to what they have to say. Okay? What else do we have here? Odin. Breakthrough. I have a feeling you're going to do the right thing regardless of how this tower goes. What steps can you take to make your situation better? Seems like you're already doing that. You've protected yourself. You want to anyways. I don't know. You could very well be protecting another person, but this is in the reverse. This feels like it's intentional. And this feels like it's really redundant. Like it's not necessary, but there was a lot of fighting. So maybe you just tried to keep the peace, right? Who knows? I'm not going to be judging you here. I'm just trying to do your read for you, Leo. What else can we get? The battle is real. Past life oracle cards for Leo. Trust and faith. I seen faith earlier. That came out. Definitely trust yourself. Have faith. Maybe it's supposed to go a certain way. This one almost looks like she's bringing down the hammer. Again, for the judgment. But there's no hammer in her hand. So whether or not you've been given the rights to do that. And then it's over top of the falling tower. You could yourself feel like a fallen angel, or maybe you took a different pathway that wasn't meant to be. Whatever this is, information's not getting out or going in like it should be. There should be natural flow. A lot of Asian ties as well. There could be certain deities that you're linked up to. Please do your research. You could very well be somebody that pulls on your ears quite a bit with the extended earlobes. And again, with the yellow, the sacral chakra, that is very important. What else we got? You have some fears that you haven't dealt with yet. Past life oracle. These are just tests and trials and stuff that our ancestors went through. Yeah, you're meant to heal others, whether through your words or pretty much keeping the peace, or even medicinally, like natural herbal remedies or something like that. Medicine man or woman. Okay. Can we get past life, island time wellness, sorry. Oh, past life. So this is like a romance from the past. Maybe you were heartbroken and that's what's ever made your decisions from that moment forward. Whatever happened. Maybe that's why you feel like you didn't get the 10 of Cups. Singles or couples for Leo. Separation. This could be physical, 3D, and spiritually. So you could have lost a loved one. Sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. Well, I'm pretty sure you know what steps you need to take right now so that your future is not so unsure. But we can't always make judgment calls for other people or try to determine what their outcome is going to be, because we are not playing God in another person's life. We have light and dark within us. We have God's side or a devilish side, whatever you want to call it, and we respect both for teaching us the lessons that we need. But as far as claiming control over another person's life is not what we're supposed to be doing. Good catch. Healing the heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addiction. So you could have felt like you were in a spiral before when it came to the heartbreak, but it seems like you're finally healing yourself. You could be doing some kind of scrapbooking, or you could be wearing a specific pendant or gem, and you're finding it very hard to go through this. It's almost like you don't want to, but you're still trying. Good for you, Leo. It's not always easy, eh? The unknown, a little bit defensive. You wear a gold chain. You could have felt stabbed in the back or betrayed before. Heartbreak, pain, separation, again, that's twice, deception, and shocking attack. So whatever you went through definitely traumatized you to the point where you decided you were going to make certain calls. This could have had to be with a male counterpart or somebody that came into your life that did some damage. But just keep in mind, if you withhold certain information and you want to take it with you to like the grave or something, that could need to come out, because it could be meant for somebody else so they don't go through the same thing. It's for you to divulge and speak your truth and stand in your own truth so that somebody doesn't relive that cycle. If you don't, then that negative energy's got to go somewhere. And if you passed it on down the generations through the bloodline and it's still not being learned because you kept your mouth shut, that's going to have consequences. Negative ones that are not necessary. What else can we get? Again, with the defensive, this could be a bit in the ego or feeling like if you were to share certain information that maybe you'll be vulnerable, but you're already fucking vulnerable. Right? What else can we get here? We went from light to dark. Speaking your truth. Okay, healthy choices. Make healthy choices in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, being happier. Definitely take care of yourself. She's got a basket of fruits, veggies, and all that. It's going to be spring soon. Maybe plant a little garden inside or out, whatever is easiest for you. Happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, and enjoying each other. So if you're a couple, you're going to be really spending some time, especially coming up in the summer. And if you are single, you may very well find somebody or see somebody that you have specific intentions for. All right, I'm going to give 4 runes here, and instead of reading the whole thing, you're going to do your research and look them up. If you can't, then ask somebody that may know, okay, to look up for you. So we got the moon card. That's the first one. Things that are needing to come out. We got Kaunin, which is like acceptance. This one here looks like a Pac-Man symbol, okay. Then we got Hagalaz, which looks like an H. This one here. Do your research. They have multiple meanings. It may be something for you in there. And then we've got Isis. That's what this one here. So a lot of standstill, a lot of lack of communication. Hopefully this helps you. And I'm going to clear my energy after this one, okay?